Is defensive end Micheal Clemons finding himself in the Robert Saleh doghouse? Well, what's up, everybody? This is GreenBean, and we are back on this day of preseason game number 2, talking about a player that we've seen a little bit of a couple issues with from time to time. Just might be running its course if you pay attention and read the tea leaves a little bit. Before we get started with all that, I would like to remind you about the incredible offer that BetUS is currently providing to all who click on the link right in the description of this video. The one and only BetUS is offering a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. America's favorite online sportsbook, BetUS, providing just an incredible deal, guys. If you want to have some additional fun and you kind of have a good feeling on the way things are going to go, the over-under, you're betting the straight lines, taking the points, giving the points, whatever it might be, it's all there on BetUS's website. All you have to do is click the link in the description of this very video, take you right to it to get your 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring this video. Guys, I know that you already know who we're talking about. The one and only Micheal Clemons, who, if you don't remember, showed up to training camp last year wearing no shirt and had a bat wrapped in barbed wire. Remember that? Now, you got to think, it's one thing for a guy to look tough, right? And Micheal Clemons looks tough. He's a very intimidating, imposing individual. But it's another entirely, here's the thing. Like, when you come out of a car and you look tough, he's walking with the baseball bat and barbed wire. Oh, my God, look at him. He's ready to kill somebody. That's all great. But you got to think, you got to go deeper with stuff like that. How much prep? Like, did you say, okay, I'm going to take my shirt off. You wrapped it in barbed wire. Like, you get out of the car. How am I going to walk? The whole thing. It's prepared toughness, which I'm never the biggest fan of. I thought it was cute and fun and whatever else. But the thing with Micheal Clemons, it's not just that. He does have a great personality. He does have a good sense of humor. I think he's misunderstood to some degree. But none of that matters. That's all great when somebody's making an impact on the field. It gets washed right down the toilet when they're not. So last year, Micheal Clemons did not have the greatest season in his second year after the Jets drafted him in the 4th round. We had a lot of hope for him. He had a lot more impact than we expected maybe his rookie year. Last year, they asked him to gain some weight. They told him, they were switching him around, inside, outside, more so than his rookie year. And I think that we saw the results. It didn't work. But in addition to that not working, we saw him chasing dudes in the tunnel, telling fans to go F off, which again, I think is funny if you look at it through the right lens. But when you collect it all, going into this season, Micheal Clemons has a job to do. Micheal Clemons is really right now our starting defensive end. We let JFM go. We lost Bryce Huff. Hassan Reddick is doing the holdout thing. So we really have Mike McDonald and a series of undrafted free agents and a guy who, in Tack McKinley, who was up to this point essentially what you can call a bust. So here's the thing. Sauce Gardner came out before the Commanders game, and he said that Robert Saleh issued a warning to the team. Any fights in these joint practices, and I think the phrase was, consequences will come down that nobody wants to see. So Micheal Clemons pushing and shoving the Commanders practice a little bit, but really you saw it in the Panthers practice. Micheal Clemons starting the pushing and shoving. DJ Reed now famously grabbing the football on the sideline, running over to the melee and throwing it at the receiver. The whole thing. But Micheal Clemons is always involved. So when we're talking about these consequences coming down, you're looking at a player who the impact isn't there and is causing more. He's had 3 personal foul penalties in his first 2 years, which personal foul penalties, there are players who go the whole career without one of those. He's got 3 in his first 2 years. He's 27 years old, so he's older than a traditional third-year player would be. When you look at the contrast, Braylon Allen is 20. He's going to be 20 years old his entire rookie year, so his third year is going to be 22. It's a big difference. You're not really willing to accept those types of behavioral issues. Now, you like the intensity, you like the aggressive nature and all that jazz, but the penalties, they are killers. We know that. We saw the guy that we traded to the Broncos, JFM, have quite literally game-killing penalties, roughing the passer penalty. The one in the Patriots game took away a pick six, gave him 15 yards. They kicked a field goal. That's a 10-point swing just by that penalty alone. Now, was it a little bit of a questionable penalty? Maybe. Doesn't matter. He did it, and we got called for it. So seeing this vacuum of defensive ends, Micheal Clemons is pretty important. Now, Jeff Ulbricht is on record as saying he thinks he looks great. He thinks he's the man. So it's a kind of a conflicting deal right now. But I'm really curious to see how Micheal Clemons shows up in this game. The directive was given. We don't want to see fights in joint practices from our staff, from our side. We don't want to see it, and we've seen it. And Micheal Clemons is always around the pile. On the touchdown, he bites in the Commanders game. It was kind of his responsibility. So these things could be stacking against him. Could we see a guy like Eric Watts or McGregor or Tack McKinley push Micheal Clemons off the team? Maybe they have to make a statement. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm real curious to see how Micheal Clemons shows up in the Panthers game. What do you think? Are you done with Micheal Clemons? Are you tired of the act, so to speak? Or are you thinking, hey, man, especially right now, we can't afford to push a guy who knows the system and can be a quality player off the squad? Let me know what you think in the comments. With that all said, I hope you have a wonderful day. Well, I'll see you tonight for the live stream, live reaction, and watch party. Jeremy is back. Frankie from Flatbush will be joining us live as well. And Ryan and O'Leary hopping in at halftime as usual. It's going to be a fun night. I hope you'll join us. See you then. Go Jets.